Did you know that there's 2 windows to repot your bonsai? One of them is of course in early spring, when the tree starts growing. But also in late summer, early fall, you can still repot your bonsai. August is running to an end, we're almost in September. And that to me means that we are in the second repotting phase of the year. Now I did a few videos on repotting trees in late summer, early fall. And I got quite a few negative comments also on fora, and yeah, people say those trees are dead. Well, these are the 3 trees that I repotted last year. They're not really dead. We are right now in October. That is quite late for my climate, but 4 weeks ago I made a video, 3 weeks ago? A few weeks ago I made a video on repotting deciduous bonsai in fall. And there were of course a few concerns, one of them asking, would you also do this on more mature trees? Because I used at the time some trees that I'm growing out. Well, this is a very mature tree. I'm going to take it out of the pot, comb it out, show you exactly what I do, and then show you the end result at the end of the video in springtime, once this is waking up, I hope without any damage. A little bit about this tree before I get started though. This is a seigen or a Benisidori Japanese maple. You can tell from the bark, it is really old. All the green is gone. It is a nice bark on there with the little lines. It has been in this pot for, I think, 3 years. 3 years ago I found this at one of the nurseries I frequent as a very weak tree. So at that point I repotted it, put it in nice good substrate, which now is completely overgrown. And I've just left it in there since then. So it is really time to repot. Next year I want to do a complete overhaul. And I might want to take an air layer here. I'm going to repot now, so I don't have to worry about that in spring. And maybe I can do the air layer on the top also in spring. I do get asked a lot, what tools do you use? So here we go. This is a root hook. And this is a root hook as well. This one is made by Bobcat Bonsai. Check out his channel. He has really cool videos on how you make tools like this. Yeah, well, you can also check my channel because I have a video on this exact tool. Anyway, root hooks. Of course, for getting substrate from between the roots. A chopstick, which is easy for putting substrate between the roots. Just a general gin pliers that I use to tighten the wire when I'm putting the tree in the pot. Clipping of old wire. Clipping of old roots. This is basically a concave cutter that has worn out a lot and I'm using it now. And just old scissors for pruning back the roots. That's pretty much all I need for this repotting. Let's get it out of the container. There we go. Look at that root ball, nice and solid. Of course the weeds need to go, need to clean all of that out. And then this builder's mesh that I have on top, so that the birds don't dig in the pot. And I keep my finer roots. Can also go, but it still looks okay. So I'm just going to reuse that later on, if I can get most of the weeds out. There we go. I think you might be able to see, there's a little line here in the bark, with a little bit of a darker bark and brighter bark. This is a clear indication that this has been grafted. And because the graft scar is not all that ugly, it's a nice clean line. I'm assuming this was done in Japan, just before it was exported to Germany or Europe for sale. Right, let me clean this up. And then, of course, use a root hook as per normal to gently scrape away from the trunk and remove the substrate from the root ball. You do it from the top. And also at the bottom you try to gently squeeze open this root ball. These growing tips that we have here are a good sign. That means the roots are still active and it's not too late yet to do a gentle repot. It's not going to be gentle though. Making sure to get all the wires out. And then just continue scratching the surface and the bottom until you've got a nice root base. I want this to be really shallow. And make sure that when you're repotting that spiraling roots like these are removed quite far into the root ball, so that finer roots can take over and that they don't start creating a solid edge here. So really trace back where do they come from and then go into the root ball and remove them and let smaller roots further into the back take over. Doing this in multiple rounds means that you can slowly reduce the root ball. Because after this I'm going to rake out a little bit more, just until I don't have any more harsh roots sticking out, and I just have this nice fluffy roots left over with a little bit of substrate. I'm not going to bare root. The core of the root ball is going to remain intact so that the plant retains the water absorption capacity. It is just closer to the trunk again. And then it has space again for a year of growth. Water can percolate through more easily. There's more oxygen in the root ball. All these benefits. And because you do this regularly, you get this refined root ball. And that's why there's not a very big risk of removing part of the roots. There's always a lot of feeder roots left over in this root ball. Now you can see it's quite dry, so I have to work quickly. I don't want this root ball to dry out too much. So I'm going to stop talking for a bit and just continue working and show you the result of cleaning up the root ball. I've given the root ball a quick splash of water just to make sure that these little roots don't dry out, because I wanted to show you the current root ball compared to the pot that it was in, and it was of course sitting like this in the root ball, in the pot. It was of course sitting like this in the pot. This is how much of the roots have gone. Basically everything that's underneath the pot, but you can't see that. And now I'm just going to prepare 2 more mesh, put some wires in, fill the pot halfway with substrate, put the plant on top and fill it back up with substrate. And then this repot is done for this season, and in springtime we'll revisit the tree. It was planted very deep because this was an open gap, but this is close now all the way to the soil line, and up to here planting won't be an issue. I've mounted the soil so that the middle is a lot higher than the sides, and I've mixed some of the old wet soil into the dry soil, or actually soil substrate, so that the roots, so that it's easier to water it down. And now I'm just taking the tree and putting it on top, looking for the future front, which is about like this, and then I just gently wiggle it down until it's at the depth that I want. This way I ensure that at the bottom of the root ball there's substrate. Now I like to create a little bit of a mesh, so I loop these two together and then I loop them back towards the other side, or back, I loop them towards the other side through the root ball, so it's a bit of a fidgety thing. And then I wire them with the other 2 wires. That way both sides, left and right, are also connected to each other. And then it's just a matter of filling up and using chopsticks to wiggle soil between the roots where needed. Now a bit more water and it's all done. I'm going to try and protect it from direct sun and lots of wind for the next 2 or 3 weeks, so it can really get settled into the pot without having the young roots disturbed. But that's basically the same as you do normally in springtime, except for you have to be a little bit more careful with drying winds. So if you are in a climate that has still very, very hot falls, then maybe this is not ideal. But here temperatures are, well, you can see, dropping, it's humid, there's not a lot of wind at the moment. Should be fine. It is April, and by the looks of it, the fall repotting has not been a problem. Every bud is sprouting. I got lots and lots of bar branches. I'll need to remove loads of buds. I am going to let it grow for a little bit, but yeah, looks like this late summer, early fall repotting worked really, really well. I've not dug down in the pot. Maybe I should, but I don't think I will. In the end, I do want to develop this as a bonsai, and it has been going through a lot already by my hands. I'll do another update in a couple of months to see how it's doing, and then I'll post this in fall, late summer, somewhere around August, September, so you know also a repotting window for Japanese maples is coming up. Might not be optimal, might not be common, but it seems to work. Middle of May, and I think this shows quite well that this tree has not suffered at all from the fall repotting. It is pushing with growth. I've added an additional air layer. I am not sure why this species doesn't air layer all that well. And what I'm now going to do, I'm just going to prune back all these long runners on the branches that I'm going to keep to make it already more compact and forcing more budding around the trunk, because this tree is really way too large for what I intended to be. And in late July, look at these runners. I have just removed 1, 2, 3, 4 air layers of this tree. This tree hasn't skipped a beat at all from repotting this in fall. Maybe a few considerations as to why repot in fall, why not to repot in fall, what the risks are and what the potential benefits are. Right, why would you repot your bonsai in fall? Basically, there's 2-3 good reasons for me to do it right now. One of them is if I know that in springtime I'm not going to be around all that much. So you can wait until this maple starts pushing and then you do your major root work. But in spring, next year, I already know I'm going to have to repot between 100 and 150 trees. If I am then also busy in my weekends or my evenings and I have a job on the side, who knows, I might not have the time to get through all my trees. Well, then the moment that summer really ends and fall is upon us, that is a good time that you could potentially consider repotting. Second reason to repot right now is, well, actually, if I want to do some air layers on the tree, massive air layers, then I want the tree to be established on the roots. Repotting in spring means that you have a tree that is not ideal for large air layers in that same year. So if you now repot, it establishes in the pot before winter, then in spring you could consider an air layer. Third of it is, it might actually be a really, really good time. The trees are now still very active. All the roots are growing, there's foliage everywhere, there's lots of energy and it is nice and warm. That means that the roots can recover very quickly from any work done to it and they will colonize the pot quite extensive and they will colonize a lot of the pot that same fall. That being said, if it gets hot, if it gets dry, if the weather turns into hot summer again, then you run the risk of the tree drying out. So why would you not repot in fall? To me, not repotting in fall would be when it is still hot. I am wearing a t-shirt, but to be honest, it is already quite cold most of the days. Temperatures here have dropped to about 12, 13, 14 degrees overnight. That is roughly 55, 60 Fahrenheit overnight, but during the day it doesn't get a lot warmer than 20 Celsius. And 20 Celsius is about 68 Fahrenheit. So that's not very warm. On top of that, if it is now raining a little bit, that means that overnight you get lots of condensation and dew and everything gets nice and humid. That's also the trigger point for me to say, okay, summer is over. If I wake up in the morning and the mornings are chilly and there's humidity everywhere on everything is humid, that's for me a good sign. Okay, the trees are very soon going to flop into autumn mode. The leaves will start to change colors, extension growth will stop, and at that point you see the tree is going to move all the resources from the leaves into the branches and into the roots. So there's going to be a massive moving of resources in the plant. And that's also the point that the roots can regenerate very, very quickly. Now mind you, I do repotting throughout the year. I have lost trees to repotting in the middle of summer because all of a sudden the weather turned into a 30-degree high hot wind situation. But in my climate that is rare. And in fall, hardly existent. Even if it does get warm in fall, that means you get these wonderful 22, 23 Celsius days, autumn glory everywhere, nice to go out for a stroll, but at night it's cold, you get lots of rain, and these trees, they will recover. Now, I don't repot anymore if I'm within a 4-week window of frost. Take that 6 weeks. So basically September, late September. In October the first light frost might occur, but the real freezes I expect by November, December. So I don't repot after first week of October, unless I really have to. You can repot throughout the year, but you need to make sure your aftercare is okay. If you can put the trees in a place where they don't freeze, then they can take a lot of moments of repotting. Optimal repotting time, if you don't know how to repot, you've never done it, for pretty much all trees, is just in spring as they start to wake up. You see the buds swelling here, or you see the tiny little green tips appearing on the juniper. That is the time that you say, okay, now I can work on the roots. I do see people, and they repot really in August, in the hottest time of the year, even maples, and they seem to do fine. I've tried a few and I have not had any real problems, But I'm not going to recommend that, because if it goes wrong, I don't want to be the one that told you you can do that. As you can see, the tree has grown tremendously this year. This has not skipped a beat from the repotting in fall. It is very, very healthy. And actually now it is at the point that I can say, okay, this needs to go into a full-on styling mode. And actually I am preparing a video on the full styling of this tree. This is going to be the future front. It is going to be in a nicer pot, but I still need to close a couple of big cuts. I need to bring branches down and I need to cut the top even further. But you can see this tree is doing really, really well. Late last year I repotted this Trident and you can see an enormous whip, nice healthy growth. But it looks like the rest of the tree is not all that healthy. But that is because a few weeks ago I pruned this back. This was getting overly heavy and now I just left this one as a sacrifice to further develop the base of the tree and develop this in a nice young bonsai. Now, if we look at the work that we did on this tree last year, you'd be quite surprised that it actually recovered all that well. So, all in all, I think this did nicely, right? Then let's look at the last tree that I worked on last year. And that's this tree, and this tree also underwent major root surgery at the end of summer last year. Now, if you look at this tree, yes, it has a few dried out leaf tips, but that's because we're at the end of summer. We've had 2 heat waves this year. But look at that. That's a healthy tree. The base is developing nicely. The roots are settling in. It's got a gorgeous nebari, but that's still a little bit of a surprise for the other video that I'm making. So there you have it. Also this Katsura, major work. Absolutely no problem with this recovering. I think you can repot trees also in fall. And with that, I'm just going to leave you to your thoughts. You decide whether you feel I can repot my bonsai also in fall. Keep in mind, my falls are humid and still slightly warm, but they're never hot. So about 20 Celsius is a normal fall temperature for me. So in September-ish, late August, early September is a window for me to repot. I need to shelter it for wind and sun a little bit, but if I do that, repotting on maple works really, really well. It's not going to replace my normal spring repotting time, but if in a pinch, or if you really feel I'm going to do so much next year, like air layering, I want to repot in fall, it does work. The tree responds really well. And some people actually say it works better than a spring repotting, because now the roots are really active, they are growing, and therefore they really quickly colonize the pots. As said, I'm going to leave you with your thoughts on this. Pop me a comment down below if you think, hey, this works for me really well. If you want to know how to air layer these sort of maples, watch that video. And if you don't know what to do with your time, you can always watch my latest video. This was Jelle, growing bonsai. Subscribe and see you next time.